Hi everyone, it's NonnaGrace and I'm from Western New York. What I watched today has a lot to do with YouTube, so if you want to hear what I watched, stick around. Hi, I'm NonnaGrace and I'm from Western New York. I just did a little thing that they say that you're supposed to do in the first 30 seconds of a video. They say you should not introduce yourself at the very beginning, and they say you should not say hi to everyone and welcome, I'm glad you're here, and talk about your hair, how terrible your hair looks or whatever it looks like. That stuff they say you're not supposed to talk about.
But you did introduce yourself.
But I did. Did I at the beginning?
Yes, you did at the beginning.
I guess it's habit. I didn't even notice that I did it. I must have done it twice. So, because I did it again after.
Yeah.
So, I guess you know who I am. Okay, and then they said that you should flip the way you think from negative to positive. So if you talk negative constantly, things will be negative, and if you talk positive, things will be positive. We hope. Yeah.
Seems to work that way most of the time.
Yeah, if you say you're no good, then you're right. You're no good. You're correct no matter what you say.
Yep.
Let's see, I watched also about lighting and glasses. I don't know whether my chicken light, I have chicken lights that light my room up. And they used pad lights, and the pad lights were like a square light. I looked it up to see what they were, because the lady was complaining about her glasses reflecting the light. That was the one thing that she noticed. I don't know if mine are reflecting it or not. No. I'm using chicken lights. So
but we also have them covered with a sheer curtain to diffuse it too. That helps. Might
help it some. But I've got 3 chicken lights in here. So if you don't have any lighting and you want lighting, just get some chicken lights.
Or clamp-on lights. They're the same thing. Clamp-on work lights.
Mine were used for chickens, except these are the white instead of the red. Because when I have it with the chickens, I use a red light, and it's a heat light. These don't have a heat to it, but the lamps do warm up even so, but they're not on long enough to cause any trouble.
Yeah, they don't warm up as much because we're running LED bulbs in them too.
Well, that's
so that
good.
They stay cooler that way, but they still get warm, just not as warm.
I also brought in paper, and I brought in the iPad because of the things that I watched today. I was going to just tell you what I watched, pretty much. Then I watched a thing about Vaseline, and they were putting it on the eyeglasses, and they said that it was supposed to help your eyeglass, but it looked like, I don't know. When they put the Vaseline on and rub it around, it just makes it smudgy, but then you're supposed to take a cleaning cloth and clean it, and it's supposed to help from steaming up when you go from the hot to the cold, or when you come in from the cold and coming back to the hot, it would steam up sometimes. And it was also supposed to help in the rain. I don't know. I haven't tried it. I don't know if it works or not works. And if you can clean them to where they don't feel like they're smeared or not, they cleaned them with a cleaning cloth and they looked good. But who knows whether they really were or not. I didn't try it.
We'd have a hard time checking with rain right now.
Yeah, we have snow.
We have snow.
It's been snowing all day long. In fact, Jim shoveled this morning. Then I was going to go outside, and I actually put my boots on because the snow had gotten too high for my shoe. Because I was going to check to see if the chickens needed food, but he had already put the food in there, so they didn't need food, and their water was fine. I didn't have to take Bailey outside potty today. She slept the whole day, and I told Emily that she needed to take her home because she probably has to go potty. And there was a lot of snow out here, and it's a good thing she didn't have to go out because we would have had a mess coming in. I would have had to go get some boots just to go outside, which would have been awful. And she would have come in so wet because she's just a tiny little girl, and the snow was getting pretty high. It's fluffy snow, but it was getting pretty high.
I probably should clean over there for you.
I don't know whether you should or shouldn't. If it's not snowing, it would be okay. But if it snows all day, it's not going to do it any good. let's see, marketing and branding, finding the contact person or someone you can trust for marketing and branding your videos. They said to find somebody that you can actually trust to do that. You don't listen to everything that's out there. Another one I watched was what was the motivation for starting a channel. Well, they all have different reasons for starting a channel, but most of them have said that they wanted to share their legacy with their family, because in years to come the family would get to watch the video. They may never meet the person, but they'll get to watch the videos of that person, which is a good idea. And don't be pushy with your subscribers. Don't be telling them to subscribe, especially at the beginning of your video. You should wait until the end, or don't say it at all, because if they're going to subscribe, they'll subscribe whether you say anything or not. They may not subscribe right that moment. They may like to try another video, and then they might say, well, maybe I like this person and I think I will subscribe. And so that's what they do. Or they don't subscribe, whichever. I also watched Create Sparkle's Studio. Today she was talking the truth about the new YouTube channel boost. She actually did where she started a new channel just to see what it would do. I would suggest you watch her. It was interesting. She could tell it better what she did, and she shows what she had to show. And the channel she was talking about is somebody that I actually watch. Because when she was talking, I thought the person, because she showed the video of the one that she was talking about, and the lady I recognized. So go watch Create Sparkle's Studio, and the video to look for is the truth about the new YouTube channel boost. That's the name of her video. I watched also some shorts. I watched a few shorts. I'll look in the iPad. I watched other videos, but they were on the computer, so they won't show up here on my iPad. My iPad only shows what I watched actually on the iPad. And I watched about an Airstream. I always wondered what the Airstreams look like inside. They're pretty nice inside. This one lady, she showed Take My Journey is the lady, and that was actually the one that she talked about. She showed her Airstream, and I liked the Airstream. What it was is Take My Journey's video went viral. Not that one, not the Airstream one. It was a different one. And then I watched, let's see, How to Boost Your Channel. That one I talked about. And let's see, why is it's not showing all the pictures? Because we're in the other part of the house.
Probably.
I watched about burgers. Are you craving a burger? Well, you eat a burger every single day.
Yep.
And then
I eat the meat patty.
Right. You don't have the bread part.
Yeah.
I also watched a video on buying Valentine things for young people and teenagers. Pretty interesting stuff. And then I watched about a channel being demonetized again, and it was a gardening channel, and the reason was they had mentioned cannabis in it, and that's why the algorithm said that they were pushing dangerous stuff. So it was demonetized.
Even though in most states it's legal now, but...
Right. I also watched a video on making chili, which looked real good, and I watched one on pigs, and I think of Emily every time I watch something on pigs.
Yep.
And it had a little girl giggling, but you couldn't comment on this, but it was adorable. It was really cute. Watched a couple on making junk journals out of the golden books, and I watched about chickens, new tips for YouTubers. Watched about chickens, and I watched how to make a zine books, and this one that I watched, actually she glued two of them together, which I had never thought of gluing them together, but that makes a good sense. Instead of having a 4-page book, you could have an 8-page book, I think it is, because there's 4 pages in each book, so maybe you end up with 8. I'm not sure.
Maybe, yeah.
I'd have to count it or do it and then count it. Well, that's what I watched today, and more because they were on the computer. I watched also about buying dog food or special dog food and grocery. It was a grocery haul that I watched.
Mm-hmm.
So it had dog food and it had other stuff in it too. It had people food along with it. And I watched one where they made muffins from the Depression time, which is interesting. I was not from the Depression, but my mom was, and probably my dad too, because he was older than her, 8 years older than her. We always had everything that we wanted when I was living at home. And I never realized how expensive ricotta was until after we didn't have the cow and we had to buy it. It was like, oh my goodness. And we used to turn our nose up to it because we got tired of eating it. My mother used to make the ricotta when my dad would make the cheese. The cheese we buy is a lot like the cheese we had, but it costs a whole lot more than what the cheese did. We had a cow, and so the cow had a lot of cream. It was a type of cow that had a lot of cream, and we used to take the cream off and we used to churn our own butter. It was so good. It had different taste than the butter of today. Today's butter doesn't have much taste. Well, I hope you all had a great day. My day is coming to an end, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.